Welcome to the Famous Computer Cafe, brought to you by Online America, the voice of the information age. Each week at this time, we serve up an appetizing array of news, reviews, interviews, and other delicacies, all dealing with the exciting and expanding world of personal computers. So join us at the Famous Computer Cafe, where you can hear the movers and shakers of the microcomputer world talk about everything from computer fantasies to software piracy, from hardware innovations to online communications, from state-of-the-art to frontiers of the mind. Grab a seat, relax, and dine for the next hour at the Famous Computer Cafe, where your favorite table is always waiting. The Famous Computer Cafe is brought to you by the Software Spot of West Los Angeles. The Software Spot, with the largest selection of software in town, is the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles. Oh, it's raining cats and dogs out here, you guys. How can you sing? My shoes are getting ruined. What a time to get a flat tire.
So whatever happened to the romance of singing in the rain?
I'd rather be singing in the cafe. Here, I'll get the door.
Ah, the cafe looks so cozy.
Doesn't it, though? Let's go sit at our table and take a look at the menu for today. I'm Ellen Walker.
And I'm Andy Velcoff.
And I'm Michael Walker.
And you're dining with us today at the Famous Computer Cafe.
Each week at this time, we broadcast from the cafe, bringing you news, reviews, interviews, and plenty of other treats.
The chef's special today is our guest, Howard Goldberg, the president of PlayNET, a new online network.
We'll be talking about our Famous Computer Cafe giveaway. You want to stay tuned for that, as well as reviewing Electronic Arts' 7 Cities of Gold.
Of course, Dave Johnson will join us, as well as Paul and Sarah Edwards.
Not to mention the poet laureate of the cafe, Dr. Disk, still handing out all those buttons.
What a promoter. I mean, a man after my own heart.
You can say that again.
What a promoter.
Okay, all right. We'll be back in a minute after the message from the folks at Software Spot. Stay tuned.
Lotus announces Symphony, the most comprehensive software system ever developed, playing this week at the Software Spot. Symphony combines word processing, spreadsheet, communications, database, graphics, and a command language with a windowing capability. Symphony is available to our listeners at the Software Spot for $525. Save $170 by mentioning Online America, the Software Spot at 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West LA, or phone 213-477-7561. The Software Spot, giving you good discounts on magazines, books, and software. A car, a trip to Hawaii, $1 million a year for the rest of your life. If any of you know of a contest where we could win all these things, let us know, okay? In the meantime, if any of you would like a chance to win a new Commodore 64 computer or a dinner for two, then listen to this. Between now and December 17th...
When?
December 17th. We'll be throwing all letters received here at the Famous Computer Cafe into a big hat. On December 17th...
When?
December 17th. We will import a very pretty woman in a short skirt with a frozen smile to push her hand way down into the hat, not once, but twice.
How many?
Twice. And come up with a first prize winner and a second prize winner. A letter or postcard with your name, address, phone number, and the type of computer you own or would like to own will qualify you to enter this contest.
What?
It's a contest. Whether you're a bona fide hacker whose credentials include breaking into Fort Knox.
Where?
Never mind. Or a complete novice who can't spell the word computer and thinks a byte is something you put in your mouth. Not to worry, as Dr. Disk would say. Just your name, address, phone, and computer model on a piece of paper will make you eligible for these wonderful prizes.
What?
Prizes. And what are these wonderful prizes, you might ask? I'm so glad you asked. Johnny, tell us what this month's contestants are going to win.
Well, Bob, this month's second prize winners will receive an all-expense-paid candlelight dinner for two at the elegant restaurant you see on your screen behind door number 1. And this month's first prize winner will receive a free, brand new deluxe Commodore 64 home computer. Yes, that's right. Commodore is the most popular personal computer and is owned by more families than any other personal computer in this great nation of ours.
Well, thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome.
Now you've heard it, folks. Second prize, a dinner for two, and first prize, a free Commodore 64 personal computer.
What?
Commodore 64. And everyone else will receive one of our beautiful new Famous Computer Cafe buttons. So everyone's going to be a winner.
What?
A winner! So pick up your pen and a piece of paper or a postcard and address your correspondence to the Famous Computer Cafe Giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401.
Where?
The Famous Computer Cafe Giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. Don't let this chance of a lifetime pass you by. Send in your postcard today.
When?
Today.
Welcome to Online America. Here at the Famous Computer Cafe, we have Howard Goldberg with us. Howard, give us a sense about what it is that you're doing with PlayNET and kind of how you got into this whole thing.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's a real pleasure to be here at the Computer Cafe tonight. We're really excited about PlayNET. We started the company about a year ago. My partner and I were working for GE in Albany, New York, and we decided that we wanted to go off and start our own company. And we're really excited about the prospects for computers in this country and the opportunities there. And so we had the idea that what would really go would be a network that people could make contact with each other through their computer all across the country, play games with each other like bridge or Monopoly or chess, and do a whole variety of things online, like being online America, but through the computer. And so we started the company around a year ago. We found some investors who are interested in what we were doing, hired some people, started developing the software, and we started testing about 4 or 5 months ago now. And just this August, we started a final test market. We've got people from Illinois, from Maryland, from Boston area, a few from California, online right now, testing it out. And we're going to be starting our full national marketing of the PlayNET service come the end of October.
Wow, so this means that you're going to give me an opportunity to ask you a lot of questions, but this really means that you're setting up something like a CompuServe or a source or knowledge index or something like that, a main database that people can access from their personal home computers into main databases and communicate with other people around the country.
Well, that's part of it, Mike. We look at people like CompuServe and the Source, who were really the pioneers of this market. They're basically information businesses. They've got their computer, which is full of information of all sorts, encyclopedias, airline schedules, restaurant reviews, and you can connect into their computer and ask for information, and they send it down to you from their computer. But one of the things that they also had was the ability for you as a subscriber to get on the network and not get information from their computer, but through their computer reach other people who are also online and play some games with them. And what they have found has been that has been one of the most popular parts of their network. And so we saw that happening, and we said, hey, that's what people really enjoy doing. They enjoy meeting people. That's a basic thing that people like to do, make contact with other people. And we also saw that there were other ways to give features that CompuServe didn't have. For example, there's no graphics on CompuServe. And when you're playing a game, for example, it's great to be able to see the game board. And so we found a way to make it so that you could get that kind of graphics. And also we will be charging a lot less than CompuServe, and we think that for people to really enjoy and use this kind of a service, it needs to be at a popular price.
Well, wait a minute now. If I seem to remember correctly, CompuServe is about $6, $6 to $8. How much is it? How much? What are the rate structures? I'm not really sure about all the different rate structures.
Well, that's right. CompuServe basically charges, depending where you are in the country, between $6 and $8 an hour for the evening hours and weekends and holidays. The way our pricing is that the basic price is $2 an hour. There's also a monthly service fee of $6 per month flat rate. There are no other connect charges. So if you're online for an hour, you pay us $2, and we think that that's an attractive price that people can afford, where they can spend time on the network. They can make friends, meet people, play games, send electronic mail. And there are many other features that we have in the works that people will be able to do with each other online.
Well, I have, let's see, Knowledge Index, CompuServe, and I've seen the source. All those have local access numbers, and what that means, guys, is that basically you get to call up a local number, so you're not charged, even though you guys are like in New York, right? Your main database is in New York. So even though their main database is in New York, you can call a local access number. You're only charged for your local phone call, but then you're billed the $2 an hour for being online on their system, so you don't have to pay $2 in long distance charges, right?
That's absolutely right. If you're in San Francisco or you're in Los Angeles, we have a number for you to call in your city, and then you're online, and so you pay the $2 an hour. There are no other charges. So you can be online with your grandmother or your brother or your friend across the country, and you're paying $2 an hour, which is far lower than a price that you would pay for long distance phone calls on AT&T. So that's we see that as a real feature for people, just to be able to communicate with their friends, relatives, at a real low price.
Well, stay tuned, folks. I guess you're going to find out a little bit about telecommunications tonight. So am I. This is Michael Walker, Online America. We'll be back with you in a few moments.
Is your computer eating you out of house and home? Are you a little tired of turning on your printer only to find that you're out of paper again? Can you honestly say that your computer is pulling its own weight? Well, it's time for your computer to get a job. And with Paul and Sarah Edwards' great new guide, How to Make Money with Your Computer, for only $3.95, full employment for your PC is a piece of cake. Imagine in no time at all, you and your computer can be talking over the different opportunities available and choosing the one business that's right for you. You can be reading about what it takes to be successful, how to get customers, and the inside scoop of actual entrepreneurs just like you who turned big ideas into big bucks. To get your copy of How to Make Money with Your Computer, send a check or money order for $3.95, which includes all shipping and handling, to Online America, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90405. Make sure to include your name, address, and zip code. How to Make Money with Your Computer. Invest $3.95 to turn your PC into profit. Send for it today.
You know, Ellen, it's a really nice day to be here at the famous Computer Cafe.
I know, isn't it wonderful? It's so cozy in here with the fire going. I love this kind of day. I just feel like curling up on a big leather chair in my flannel pajamas that Michael doesn't like, with a good book and a cup of hot chocolate.
Now, don't get too into that fantasy. You know, we still have a show to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of shows, I thought I'd let you know that our friends at Psicomp are going to be promoting their Apple version of their product called Coping with Stress. That's this Wednesday, November 21st.
Well, what are they going to be doing?
They're going to have the first ever autograph party for a software product, which is kind of cute. Dr. Robert Reitman, who's the author, will be at the Van Nuys Computerland at 6628 Van Nuys Boulevard to demonstrate his self-help software and to sign autographs.
That sounds like real great celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Well, it might be fun to check it out. Let's get back to Michael and Howard talking about PlayNET.
This is Michael Walker. We're back with our guest Howard Goldberg. And Howard's the chairman of PlayNET. I didn't know if he mentioned that to you, but I thought I might tell you. We're talking about telecommunications. This is all that modem stuff. This is all that, if you want to get online and use your telephone after you get your computer set up and everything. Basically, what he has is a service that's a main database that'll allow you to talk to other people around the country for a real small price. Let me ask you some questions, Howard. Basically, if I got online with you, you're telling me that I can get some neat graphics. I can play games with people around the country. I can communicate with people around the country and watch them either on my monitor or on my television.
That's right. That's right. At the heart of PlayNET is the social activity that you can get online from your own home and meet people, make new friends, or make contact with people who you already know at a low price and have fun, play games. We also have electronic mail, so if you want to send a note to someone, you can do that. We plan to add things like greeting cards, so a friend is getting married, has a birthday, graduation, you can send a card, and they can call it up on their computer and see that card in full color graphics with music. Just one of the basic things is things that you do with other people when you're having fun, when you're just enjoying contact with other people.
I have actually heard, because we're in this business of really kind of seeking out the unusual about these computers. We're always talking about, what's somebody doing different, unusual. But I've actually heard of people actually becoming friends. They actually start talking to one another through their computer and then decide to meet someplace. People have gotten married. They have dates off of this. I mean, this is like a social phenomena, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen that myself. I know people who have met people on the network, who have gone out with them. Friendships have grown out of that. PlayNET is really too new to have anybody get married yet, but I have no doubt that will happen. There really are not too many ways where you can, from your own home, make contact with new people. You just can't very well pick up the phone and call some random telephone number. But on PlayNET, you can get on anytime and meet new people, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly safe. You don't have to go out on the streets at night to meet people. It's it's an opportunity to do things that you can't do any other way.
But you know something? I mean, I'm all for computers. I really am. I really promote computers. I think people should get on computers. But would you paint this as being something that, listen, if you're afraid to go outside of your front door, stay on your computer because, hey, you can meet new people this way and you don't have to be afraid of strangers? I mean, are you advocating not going out on the streets and being with people?
Oh no, absolutely not. This is just one more element. It's something that can add to the things that you do in your life. I'm not saying that you should sit home and not ever see a person or go out and meet people, but hey, people spend 6 or 7 hours on average in front of their television set, sitting there watching programs come to them. I think that spending an hour or two in front of your TV set doing this kind of thing has a lot of real value that may be a lot more in some respects than watching a soap opera or watching a ball game. I enjoy doing both of those things, but this is just something different and new and something that can really add to your life, not replace other things, but really add a new dimension to your life.
I think it's kind of like, it's so new, you know. I mean, you're talking about communicating in a way where people actually can become friends through this supposedly unfriendly technology.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I really like and find exciting, that people are used to thinking about the computer as this scary box that sits there, and you have to be some kind of computer whiz or techie to do this thing. And a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm not really into that kind of thing. I'm into people things, but here the computer becomes a vehicle, a way to add things in your life that you just don't have other ways. So it really makes the computer friendly in a whole new kind of way.
When we get back, we've got to take a break right now, but when we get back, I really want to get an opportunity to kind of find out about what it is that possesses you to get into this the way that you do. I mean, I'm convinced. I think that this thing is really a hot product, but hold on to that. We'll come back. We'll talk about it. This is Michael Walker, Online America. We'll be back after this.
Hello, I'm Rick Burnett, and welcome to Online America's Personal Computer News. Microsoft Corporation has delayed the introduction of Microsoft Windows until June of 1985. The functionality is there, but Windows is larger and slower than the company would like, a spokeswoman for Microsoft said. In addition, the operating system environment doesn't handle old applications as well as the firm would like. Microsoft maintains that the impact of the holdup is lessened by the fact that 50 independent software vendors writing applications programs to run under Windows won't have their products ready until June either. The firm suggests that the application software is a real key to Windows success. Asked whether IBM's new windowing software TopView is likely to replace Windows in the marketplace, Microsoft thinks not, even though Big Blue's product is scheduled to be unveiled 6 months before Microsoft's offering. Certainly, perceptually, TopView competes with Windows, the spokeswoman said, but the goals of the two programs are very different. TopView is a mechanism for running more than one application at a time. Windows is a bit-mapped graphical interface that makes a personal computer look like Apple's Macintosh. With TopView, she adds, users of Lotus 123 may be able to create larger spreadsheets, but they also will sacrifice 160K to operating environment. With Windows, Lotus becomes a Mac on a PC. Compaq and Fortune faltered despite sales increases. Compaq Computer Corporation posted record sales of $87.5 million for the third quarter ended September 30th, an increase of more than 140% over a year earlier sales of $36 million. Yet quarterly earnings fell to $1.9 million compared to earnings of $3.8 million for 1983's third quarter. Fortune Systems Corporation reported a net loss for the third quarter of $3.67 million, despite sales of $16.76 million, an 85% increase over revenues for the same period a year ago of $9.05 million. Both companies blamed a softness in the personal computer industry during the summer, as well as increased competition from IBM. Fortune added that it is experiencing pressure from AT&T's computer introductions as well. Visicorp is about to disappear from the scene. The company announced early this month that it will merge through an exchange of stock with Paladin Software Corporation, a startup firm headed by a former Visicorp product marketing manager. That manager, Ray Folk, will lead the new company. The merger provides Paladin with a source of cash to carry out its plans for a family of office computer software products that are scheduled for introduction early next year. Visicorp sold its VisiOn integrated software to Control Data Corporation this summer for an undisclosed sum. Paladin will continue to sell Visicorp's new FlashCalc spreadsheet and VisiWord word processing packages. The firm also retains the right to sell VisiOn through retailers. This week's news consists of excerpts from Personal Computers Today and from PR Newswire, both available through Newsnet. For Online America's Personal Computer News, I'm Rick Burnett.
You know, Andy, it seems like there are articles about computers everywhere I look lately.
You know, I know computers really are a growing trend.
Well, for instance, one of the magazines I was reading the other night is called the New Age Journal. It's one of those New Age magazines, you know.
And what were you reading about?
Well, one of the short stories they had in there was about a guy who's writing win-win video games.
Win-win video games. That sounds interesting. What are they?
Well, for instance, one of the games he's written is called Forest Fire. The object of the game is to learn to work together with your quote-unquote opponent. Traditional competition does not work in this game, but cooperation and communication allow you to put out the fire and save acres of valuable forests.
Hot game.
Oh, cute. The same guy, his name is Foss Tai, is also working on a game that teaches players how to avert meltdown at a nuclear plant. As he says, the only way to win is to shut it down.
I love it. We'll have to have this guy at the cafe.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's get back to Michael and Howard Goldberg.
We're back, and you know, as I mentioned before, I'm interested. If we look at what's happening, this computer can give us an opportunity to become our own entrepreneurs, our own businesses, our own whatever we want to do with this thing. And that's basically what you're doing with this. You've taken this idea and now you're marketing it to the country. How does that feel to you?
Oh, I think that's great. I think what's happened over the last few years has really illustrated the power of the great American dream, where you can go out and you can start your own company, and particularly in the software, in the whole software area, people who have decided that that's what they want to do can just go out and they can buy themselves a home computer for a few $100s or $1,000 and start producing software and selling it. It gives people an opportunity to fulfill that kind of a dream, and PlayNET has been that for me, and for those of us who are involved. It's an opportunity to go out and do what a lot of people dream about doing, and that's starting their own company. So that's a real part of it, real satisfying. And when I see people on the network at night and enjoying themselves, and there's no way that they would pay for using PlayNET if they weren't getting something out of it. So it's something that everybody wins. It's a win-win kind of situation, which is the best.
I'll tell you, the price is definitely right. $2 an hour. I mean, I don't know how you guys can afford to be open at that. I mean, unless of course you're planning on talking to lots of folks and selling this thing to lots of people. Why did you pick on $2?
Well, we felt that to really make this something that would be available to a lot of people, that a lot of people around the country could enjoy, the price had to be right. The price had to be something that people could afford, where they could spend enough time on the network to really get the enjoyment out of it, that it would be comparable to other kinds of entertainment, because people have to make choices with the way they with the things they do. You can go out to a show, you can go bowling, and so that's the kind of for a couple hours worth of entertainment, you really need to have the price be somewhere in that kind of range, $4, $5, because if it's much higher than that, somebody looking at that will say, well, I'd really like to do that, but it's just out of reach. And we really want to make this kind of thing available to the largest number of people we can.
I wanted to talk about the configuration. And that simply means, which pieces of the puzzle did you put together to make this thing happen? Why don't you tell me what you got?
Okay, Mike. Well, what someone needs to be able to get on PlayNET are the basics of a Commodore system. You need to have a Commodore computer keyboard. You need a disk drive so you can put the PlayNET software into it, and you need a box that connects your computer to the telephone. And you can buy these kind of gadgets from Commodore, a VIC modem, from Hess modem, or there are other manufacturers of modems. You can go into a mass merchandiser, a retailer like Toys R Us, and buy that for $50. The total system would run somewhere around $500. The Commodore keyboard typically runs around $195, $200. Disk drive about $250, and the Hess modem or VIC modem adds $50 or $60. So that's the basic hardware price. Then to buy the PlayNET subscription package, you will pay a one-time subscription fee of about $29.95, and that gives you the software that you need. It gives you the user guide to tell you how to use it. You'll receive a monthly newsletter that gives you all the latest things that are happening on PlayNET, who's doing what. And then the basic charge after that is a $6 a month flat service fee, and the $2 an hour for every hour that you're on the network, and that's it.
Wow. I mean, the thing about it is that prior to this, I had an IBM PC. I do have it now, and I got a Hayes modem, and I got the software. The software, the modem, that was like $600, and then to get on CompuServe is like another $6 a month, and that's not to mention if you want to get on the executive service, which is like $15 an hour or something like that. I don't know, the dollars are weird there, but it's expensive, and this is really something that gives people an opportunity to kind of get into this thing, and it's a big network. How many Commodore users are there out there?
Well, there are something in the neighborhood of 2 million Commodore 64s out in the marketplace right now, and that's growing every day. We chose the Commodore because they're the largest number of home computers of all of the brands out there. It was the lowest price. You could buy all the equipment at a reasonable price. But we haven't forgotten the people who have IBMs and Radio Shacks and Ataris and Apples, and we plan next year to adapt the PlayNET software to some of these other machines. So people who have that equipment will have the opportunity to also be PlayNET subscribers. And if you're an Apple owner, you'll be able to talk to a Commodore owner on the network. We're not. It's not going to be that only Apples can talk to Apples and so on. So whatever you have, we will over time be able to have you join us.
Does that mean that that's the way it is on, say, CompuServe? If you're an Apple, you can't talk to IBMers?
No, you can do that also. Now but the big difference between PlayNet and CompuServe and the Source and Dow Jones is that on the other networks there are no graphics. What you see are just words and numbers coming across the screen. So there's no software that has to go into your computer. In PlayNet, in order for you to have all of the beautiful graphics that we offer you, you need to have the software, and as you know, Mike, Commodore software only works on a Commodore computer, and so on. So we have to adapt our software for each of the different machines, and that's the price we pay to offer the kind of quality product that we want to offer people.
One of the trippiest things about this whole industry that I'm starting to really look at, there's a lot of volatility in this industry. Okay, there's a lot of volatility. I mean, guys come in here, they really mean the best of everything, and they have the best of intentions, and for some reason, they fall. They don't make it. They don't get through. Maybe they overprojected themselves, had too much money to get started, or didn't have enough. Either they went the wrong path, following a machine that died out there at the end of the pier, or they went into one that totally dropped his whole marketing plan that you based everything on, and then brought in another competitive computer that would blow everything away. Why play in this kind of arena? Why get into this for yourself, personally?
Well, I guess it's like the person who goes and who climbs Mount Everest. In some ways, you kind of do it because it's there. When I looked at the different kind of things that I could do, this whole business attracted me because, I guess, partly because of the excitement. That it's kind of a two-edged sword. On the one hand, the excitement and the volatility means opportunity. On the other hand, it's a tough business, and you're absolutely right. People come and people go, and there have been some very big and otherwise successful companies like Texas Instruments and Mattel and Atari that have fallen on tough times. But I guess there are those of us who like to play in the fast, exciting games, and I find myself in that group.
You and me both. We'll be right back after this. It's Michael Walker. We're with, oh God, Howard. I'll tell you. It's Howard Goldberg. We're at the famous Computer Cafe. Stay tuned, guys.
So what else was in that New Age journal, Ellen?
Well, another interesting article talked about a couple that got tired of watching their kids get sick of their toys after playing with them for 1 week. And they reasoned that adults probably went through the same sort of thing.
I have an idea what they meant. So what did they do?
Well, they instituted something called a Toybrary, a lending library of toys. Of course, their definition of toys makes me think they're people after my own heart. Their toys include a printing press, a portable darkroom, a potter's wheel, a Steinway grand piano.
That's a serious toy, I'd say.
And 11 home computers and 200 different software products. According to the article, they even have 2 of the local restaurants with standing monthly reservations for the computers to do their bookkeeping.
So where are they located?
They're in upstate Vermont somewhere.
Sounds like another idea about how to make money and have fun with your personal computer, really.
Yep. Well, let's get back to Michael and Howard Goldberg talking about PlayNet.
Welcome back. We're with Howard Goldberg. And Howard is the chairman of PlayNET, which is a telecommunications database service. You can actually access it from your home. Right now it's only on the Commodore, but it's soon to be out, released for early next year for the IBMs, the Apples, and the other folks out there. I really want to get in, the kind of questions I like to ask my guests before I leave is, where do you see this business going? Telecommunications, getting online, people talking to people. Is there a sense of a main database, a big brother, or is there a sense of freedom, a bright spot in the future that we can communicate to people? I realize I'm rambling a little bit here, but not really, because I want to express that. What do you think? How do you feel about this whole thing? And where do you see the things going in the future?
Well, Mike, what I see is that this really represents an evolution, another step. If you look at a home and you look at the kinds of things that are there that connect people to the outside world, basically you've got your telephone, the radio, and the TV. Radio and TV are basically instruments that allow things to come into your home. The telephone is the one thing that allows you to go both ways. What now, because people can for the first time in history have a computer in their home, it really adds another capability. And services like PlayNET, which really connect the telephone and the TV and the computer, add a new level of power to that whole element of connecting the home with the outside. And so when you look at what you do when you're watching TV, you get entertainment, you get information. The telephone is communication. There are already things like bill paying over the phone, shopping, calling up and placing an order, and the computer really is going to help you do many of the things that you already do in an easier way. It's going to add capability so that, for example, being able to make contact with people, meet new people, which is kind of like the telephone, but with something new. That's kind of how I see it. That's part of it. It's part of an evolution from when Alexander Graham Bell first created the phone 100 years ago and gave people a new way to communicate with the world. That was a step in what's happening in life.
Well, I think the product that you have is pretty neat. When's it going to be out and when's it going to be available? When are people going to get to have it in their homes?
Well, we will be marketing it starting the end of October. People can call us on 1-800-PlayNET and ask for information or subscribe, and we'll be happy to send them out a subscription kit. Right now, you need to have a Commodore 64. As I said earlier, next year we'll be adding other machines, but please, if you're interested, call us on 1-800-PlayNET and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Well, I gotta tell you, I have totally enjoyed this, Howard. It's been, I really didn't realize what PlayNET was all about, and having had experienced it myself, I can honestly attest to the graphics. I can honestly attest to the game, even though Bill H., whoever that guy was, I think he was on the other side of the country, beat me. I don't like to get beat too often, I gotta tell you that. But anyway, I think it's pretty neat. I'm glad you showed it to me. I'm glad you took the time to, turn me on to this. And but more importantly, it's been great having you on the show. I've really enjoyed your time here. It's been real informative. I've learned a lot, and feel like I made a friend.
Well, thanks, Mike. I've really enjoyed being on your show and being on Online America, and I hope we will both be able to help people get online all across America and the world. And thank you very much for having me.
All right. Stay tuned, guys.
And now a word from our IBM correspondent, Dave Johnson.
Hello. Boy, Mike, this cafe is always busy. I'm going to have to bring my broker in here. But, all seriousness aside, have you ever tried to learn a second language? I know I have. Have you ever tried to converse in another language and become very frustrated? I know I have. Have you ever set fire to a large public building? I know. Today's discussion is about helping yourself and other people who may use a PC. Who hasn't wanted to do that? I know I have. Instead of learning the language of DOS, you may choose your process from a menu. There are many occasions when a process on a PC may actually be composed of 3 or 4 steps. Prime example, I want to dial my bank for an account statement. Command 1, I load the communications software. Command 2, I enter the phone number for the modem to dial. Command 3, I enter the password and account number. Command 4, enter request for account balance. Now, who wouldn't want to simplify that? I know I have. There are several packages that are available that will help you build menus. This allows you, with a single keystroke, to complete that whole command sequence I just mentioned. One of the best is Starburst by MicroPro, makers of WordStar. This package allows you to build a hierarchical menu tree. And who hasn't dreamed of doing that? I know I have. With Starburst, you may link menus or tasks together. The main or opening menu will allow you to pick submenus. That is, access to your communications software or your database. Once at the appropriate submenu, you execute command sequences with a single choice. Your communication menu may have 4 choices. Examples: 1, dial the bank for a balance. 2, dial an outside database. 3, an electronic mail. Or 4, modify the menu. Another approach is AutoDOS by Excalibur Technologies, which is, quote, a complete automatic menu-driven DOS control program, unquote. You can chain DOS commands together into a menu choice. For example, from the main menu, you can pick number 1, which will change your directory to a WordStar subdirectory, then bring up WordStar, and you're ready to go. Now, both of these packages offer an added advantage: password protection. If someone else wants to know your correspondence on WordStar, if they don't know the password, they don't get past the menu. Well, this has been Dave Johnson for Online America logging off. And who hasn't wanted to do that? I know I have.
Dollars and Cents by Monogram is designed to take 2 complex subjects, accounting and computing, and make them easy for people who don't understand either one. Dollars and Cents writes checks, analyzes investments, monitors your assets and liabilities, and handles daily transactions. Why, Dollars and Cents will even remind you when to pay your bills. With its easy way to call up your transactions by date, type, check number, or tax status, you'll be all ready for tax time. So get ready for 1985 and buy Dollars and Cents today. Go now to the Software Spot at 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West LA, or call 477-7561. Save by mentioning the famous Computer Cafe, the Software Spot, where it makes sense to spend your dollars.
And now we're going to go over to Paul and Sarah Edwards. We're going to tell us about some new ways to make money with our microcomputers.
Hi, Michael. If you're interested in stocks and bonds, how about this as an idea for a business you can start with your computer? Monitoring stock portfolios.
With portfolio management software, you can track the performance of investments like stocks, bonds, options, treasury bills, and mutual funds. If you invest in stocks and bonds yourself, you may already have one of these programs and can use it to offer a service to other people.
If you haven't used portfolio management software before, it works like this. You key in the current unit price of each security, and it instantly will determine for you the current value of the particular portfolio you're interested in.
You can set up your stock portfolio business on a per-inquiry basis or on a monthly retainer that allows customers so many inquiries each month. The software you need ranges in cost from less than $100 to several hundred.
If you want to expand this business into preparing stock predictions, you'll also need an electronic spreadsheet, which will cost about $200 to $300. The spreadsheet software allows you to estimate what the effect of potential or announced courses of action will be on a portfolio.
In other words, you can help your customers play what-if games with possible or actual investments. By changing the variables of price, earnings, dividends, and so forth in various combinations, you can project how much an investment would do if this or that happened.
With a spreadsheet, you can change one of the variables, and the program then automatically changes all the others. It saves you a tremendous amount of time in doing recalculations by hand or with a calculator.
And now that stock trading services are available nationally on your personal computer, you can actually trade stock too. Here's how that service works with one particular service.
Using virtually any personal computer, a subscriber to this service can enter buy and sell orders 24 hours a day on exchange lists and over-the-counter stocks and options.
A broker reviews each order on a computer screen before forwarding it to the appropriate exchange via his or her computer. The broker then confirms back to your computer and settles up through an asset management or a money order account.
A one-time setup fee of around $200 is charged for this service. Then usage costs run around 40 cents a minute during prime time hours and 10 cents a minute during off hours. These fees are added to the usual commission.
To get customers for your portfolio management service, you can start with offering your service to friends and neighbors. You can join local business groups and organizations, and of course, everywhere you go, tell people about your business.
Give free demonstrations to civic groups and church groups and friends, because not everyone knows yet how easy it is to gain investment information with a personal computer. You might even end up selling investment software to your customers and teaching them how to use it.
This is Paul and Sarah Edwards for Online America. If you're operating a computer business out there, let us hear about it.
And if monitoring stock portfolios sounds like a good business idea to you, remember, someone's going to do it. It might as well be you.
Paul and Sarah Edwards are the authors of How to Make Money with Your Personal Computer, the Alfred Handy Guide, and they operate the Work at Home Special Interest Group on CompuServe Information Service. You know, I sometimes wonder what it would be like to go back in history, sitting on the bow of the Nina, the Pinta, or the Santa Maria, when Columbus dropped anchor for the first time in the New World. Or be a conquistador under Hernando Cortez when he challenged the entire Aztec Empire with only 400 men. You can now experience everything the first Spaniards did with the 7 Cities of Gold from Electronic Arts, which is available for the Commodore 64, Apple II, II Plus, and IIe, and Atari systems. The game is an excellent blend of strategy and arcade, which serves as an excellent teaching tool. The neophyte explorer not only learns to read a map and follow a compass, but also gains some insight into the historical relationship between the Indians and the conquistadors. Take the opportunity to play the game utilizing trade and cooperation, and the natives are likely to shower you with gifts. Play the game with ruthless force, and you'll be greeted with ruthless violence. The game begins in Spain at a port city where you make decisions about how many men, ships, and provisions you'll take with you to the New World. There's a store, a tavern, and even a royal palace. As you embark on your journey across the ocean, you'll immediately notice the sound of ocean waves as your fleet heads into the great unknown. Soon enough, you reach land. As you disembark, you again make decisions on how much food and provisions to take with you. Now the real adventure begins. The goal of the game is to cover as much territory and acquire as much gold as possible. As you encounter native settlements, you either engage them in battle or trade, depending on how you approach them. That might seem like an easy choice, but I can tell you from personal experience that all of my peace-loving intentions seemed to go right out the window many times during the game when I was unable to accomplish my objectives through non-violent means. As a matter of fact, I ended up killing so many Indians that the Queen refused to see me when I returned home to Spain at the end of the game, saying that I had not represented my country in a manner of which she could be proud. As I said, folks, this game is really an education. As you play the game, the computer keeps track of the territory which you've discovered. The exciting thing is that you don't get to see a bird's eye view of your discovery until you return home to Spain. I was so excited to the point of real impatience that I couldn't wait to sail back across the ocean before I could view my discoveries as a whole. I guess there's a little bit of the explorer in all of us. Perhaps the best feature of the game is its ability to create a whole new set of continents when you've finished exploring the old ones. Just think, a whole new world that no one's ever seen before, just waiting on the other side of the ocean. Now, who could resist that? This has been Andy Velcoff at the Explorers table here at the famous Computer Cafe.
Is your microcomputer feeling a bit under the weather, suffering from boredom, stagnation, and the curse of running spreadsheet after spreadsheet? Well, welcome to the world of Zork 1, 2, and 3 by Infocom, and turn your microcomputer into the great underground empire. Zork 1 confronts you with perils and predicaments, ranging from the mystical to the macabre, as you search for the 20 treasures of Zork. In Zork 2, the Wizard of Frobos takes you to new depths of the subterranean realm and attempts to confound you with his capricious powers. In Zork 3, the Dungeon Master tests your wisdom and courage, and your destiny hangs in the balance.
The entire Zork trilogy is available at Simply Software, 3001B Sepulveda Boulevard, Manhattan Beach, across from the Manhattan Beach Mall, or call 213-546-2467. Mention the name of Online America for your 15% discount off any Zork product. That's Simply Software, a soft sell dealer.
We'd like to thank everyone who helped make this show possible. Howard Goldberg of PlayNET, Dave Johnson, our IBM correspondent, and Paul and Sarah Edwards.
Our reviewer, Evan Stein, Rick Burnett, our newsman, engineer, and maitre d'. And of course, the Dr. Disc, our resident poet who checks his mail daily for your letters. So send a letter today.
And of course, everyone who writes into Dr. Disc or for the Famous Computer Cafe giveaway will receive a free Famous Computer Cafe button. And these buttons are hot, so get one today and be the first one on your block. Thanks for listening, and remember to let everyone know that you have a bite regularly at the Famous Computer Cafe. The Famous Computer Cafe is brought to you by the Software Spot of West Los Angeles. The Software Spot, with no commission salespeople and plenty of discounts on the most popular software. The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in town.
You've been dining at the Famous Computer Cafe here on KFOX 93.5 FM on your dial. The cafe is open each Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m., Monday morning at 9 a.m., and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We hope you've enjoyed your meal and nourished your mind. If you have a comment or question regarding the show, please drop us a line or give us a call here at the Famous Computer Cafe, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401, or call 213-394-7242. That's the Famous Computer Cafe, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401, or call 213-394-7242. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to be serving you again soon here at the Famous Computer Cafe, a production of Soft TV Inc. and brought to you by Online America, the voice of the information age.